Hello, my name is Professor Stewart, and I am your English 1302 professor this semester. Unfortunately, I am out of town this week, and so thank you to the professor who has decided to help me out getting you started today. What I want to do is just quickly go over the course syllabus, which you should have in front of you. I just want to hit on some key points, but you should review it thoroughly on your own. So on the first page you'll see my email, phone contact, when my office hours are. We meet in JM 103 on Tuesdays, and on Thursdays we'll be in the classroom, JM 102. Here is our required textbook, other materials that you'll need. Our course description. For the most part, this is a class in argumentation and rhetoric, and you'll want to read this information on your own. One thing I want to highlight, though, is here on the bottom of page 1, I want to read this paragraph ending on page 1, beginning on page 2. The theme for this course is the relationship of food and culture. It is primarily concerned with writing arguments and performing research that supports well-constructed arguments related to this theme. Within this more general theme, you will be responsible for choosing a personal theme of interest that you will research, develop, and argue through the course of the semester. Begin thinking about this now. What about food and culture interests you and will keep your interest for the entire semester? Remember, you will conduct research and write arguments about this particular topic through the course of the semester. And so I'd like for you this week to begin thinking about what is something that interests you about food and culture. And if you don't have any idea, maybe begin doing some research on that, because we'll talk more about that when I return in week 2. You must make a C or better in order to pass this class. Please be sure to read these course goals and how the course meets the HT core competencies on your own. Here I've listed, a bunch of expectations that I have for you for the course that I'd like you to read on your own. And also note that you must have earned a C or better in 1301 in order to take this class. And so, from these expectations, which you'll read later, I like for us to just think about learning from each other and growing together. Policy concerning cell phones and laptops, you should read on your own. I do want to talk about attendance, though. Attendance is essential for your success. And so after 3 absences, your grade will be affected. And these include absences for any reason. And so just be sure to read through this because it's really important. And there's a table here that lists how the attendance grade is tabulated. So attendance is 10% of your grade, 8% maybe, but it's you earn a 100% for this particular grade if you have 3 or fewer absences, and then it begins to drop all the way to 6 absences, at which point you fail the course. Be on time is the bottom line to the lateness policy. Make sure you read that on your own. Assignments, projects, and presentations. Now this I do want to read because it's really important that we just go over a little bit. And everything in the syllabus that I'm mentioning today, we will probably review again next week. But I just want to, as I said, highlight a few major points and have you read the entire syllabus on your own. So all assignments, projects, presentations are due as indicated on the course outline and must be typed unless otherwise indicated. So even when we are drafting for peer review, you want to type those drafts. Handwritten assignments will not be accepted. Additionally, please be sure to meet the assignment requirements. So, if the assignment calls for, a 3-page response, that's what I'm expecting. If and when you're doing your assignments, the expectation is that you're always submitting your best work. So it's not only about quantity, but it's also about quality. For each of our major essays, we will do peer reviews. On peer review days, you want to show up on time with the expected number of typed pages. Otherwise, you'll be asked to leave, counted absent, and not permitted to participate in the peer review. Accordingly, you will receive a 0 for not having a complete draft and a 0 for not participating in your peer review. So please note that for your working draft, so these are all the drafts leading up to the final draft, you either receive a 100 or a 0. So if you do not submit or have your working draft when it is due with the required number of pages, then you will receive a 0. Lastly, if you do not meet, sorry about that. If you do not meet the page requirement for final drafts, so the previous bulletin point was talking about working drafts leading up to the final draft. But for final drafts, if you don't meet the page requirement, you'll receive a 5-point deduction for each 1/2 page your essay falls short. Final drafts are accepted up to 2 class meetings late with a 10-point deduction for each class meeting that is late. And after 2 class meetings, then you will receive a 0. So for example, if a draft is due Tuesday of week 1, you have until Thursday of that week, Tuesday of that following week to turn it in with point reductions, but by that following Thursday you can no longer turn it in and it will be a 0. Okay, and then just continue to read the rest of this. The late assignments guidelines. The late assignments video. The late assignments policy relates to what we just spoke about, and so make sure you read that on your own as well. Policy on academic dishonesty. For the most part, you don't want to plagiarize, you don't want to cheat, and so again, just make sure you read this. So here is the computation of our grades. And on to our course calendar. On your own, again, review this closely, but I want to just kind of touch on these first few days. So today, obviously, you are getting a little information about the syllabus. You're going to watch a PowerPoint that talks about what is argument, and I have a documentary for you to watch where you will try to find the argument that is being made. Over here on the assignment side, tells what you need to complete and what you need to read, whether it's a writing assignment, reading assignment. But there is a syllabus quiz that's online, and it's due by 11:55 p.m. on Thursday, and you should be able to access that online beginning today. You also have an online discussion post, and I'll show you where that is, and that's due by 8 a.m. on Thursday. So make sure you pay attention to these times, because after the due date and the time passes, then the assignment closes. This isn't true necessarily for the blogs, but they are time stamped, and so if you don't meet the time requirement, then you won't get credit for it. You also need to read chapters 1 and 3 in writing arguments, and let me show you. This is our textbook, writing arguments. You want to make sure you read that. And I will send to you via email the reading that you need for our beginning of the semester diagnostic. On Thursday, we will not have class in the classroom, but you are expected to complete an online assignment, and that information will be sent to you via email as well. And then when you show up to class on Tuesday, you want to make sure that you've done all of the reading that was required by this time. All right. Now, what I want to do with the remainder of the time, because these videos are only 15 minutes, and so I have about 5 minutes left. is I just want to take you to our course. And what I want to show you is, this is what it looks like inside of our course. And actually, let me go to Student View. Coursework is where you will find assignments. And so there is a worksheet that you will complete while watching today's documentary. This is where I will put the grade for the blog post. In order to complete your blog, though, you will go to Collaboration, Blog, and here is the blog that we're working on. Okay. And this is where you will post your blog to. The other thing I want to show you real quickly is, in order to send emails, I'll use CourseMates, which means you must have your HTU email box cleaned out, otherwise you won't receive emails from me. And so I know sometimes students will ask, well, can I use my personal email address? But because I send emails through the course, they go automatically to your HTU email. So have that cleaned out. And the other thing, you can't see it today, but let me go back to regular view. You will be able to see your syllabus quiz because it opens on the first day of class, and it's today when I'm recording this video is the week prior to. But you will be able to respond to the questions in your syllabus quiz. Give yourself about 2 hours. I don't think it will take that long, but they are short answer questions, and once you exit the syllabus quiz, you can't return to it. So you want to give yourself enough time to answer those questions. And I think that is it. If you have any other questions, the professor who is taking my place today, I'm sure would be more than happy to answer them. I look forward to meeting each of you, and be on the lookout for my emails. And so following this time, we will watch a PowerPoint that talks about argument, and followed by that you will watch the documentary. I just want to remind you that while you are watching the documentary, you should open, let's see, let me go back to Student View. Here, you should see this, and you will have a file that looks like this. And you'll want to open it. Looks like this. And essentially what you are doing on this file is identifying the claim that's being made in the documentary, 2 reasons that support the claim, and then evidence that supports each of those reasons. And we'll talk more about what all of that is in just a minute. All right. It was great talking with you, and I look forward to meeting you. Bye-bye.